Well, well, well. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Wow. Second stream of today. Yes, that is true. Um, I was just streaming, and it was my first time testing out properly the co working concept. Now, it was only for Twitch, so I apologize to my YouTubers, my awesome YouTube community. This was a Twitch dedicated thing just because of. I think that there's a few things that I was testing out. We'll get into it later, but just FYI, you know what? I shouldn't even apologize. All you YouTubers, you should follow me on Twitch, and my Twitch followers, you should follow me on YouTube, of course. Either way, I'm back. Thanks, guys, for being here. So this is day 99 of my stream. Can you believe it? So, excuse me. I also just ate my first meal of the day at 6 p.m. right before I started streaming. So bear with me a little bit. Welcome, guys. Just give me a second here. We got some hype music, so I need to let this build up a bit. Oh, let me just make sure the audio level's okay. Hopefully you guys can hear it decently. It shouldn't be blasting. But just keep in mind, guys, gangsters don't dance, they boogie. Okay, so now let's say hello. My cats are here as well, of course. So we just did a co-working session where these guys are the stars of the show, really. Let me adjust the focus point. There we go. Look at this pretty girl. Oh yeah, I did switch up here. Let me readjust. There we go. There we go. Mindful says, hey, buddy, coffee time here in Wisconsin. Audio is great. Boogie away. Yo, thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Mindful. Appreciate it. And Fed is here as well. Howdy. ZR in the house. I set up the... Oh, my God. Yeah, congrats. You got your ZR. Damn. I'm excited. You said, I set up the menus and so on, and now I put the battery to charge fully. Can't hear any music. Oh, yeah, sorry. Just to catch you guys up, there's a lot that's happened in the past couple days. So one of them is that I've split up the music to for YouTube and versus Twitch, just because I was dealing with that copyright situation. If you don't mind, guys on the YouTube side, could you confirm for me, do you guys hear music now? You should be hearing some kind of, you know, random songs playing. And let me add a few more songs onto it. So basically, I've been struggling. If you guys have been watching the past few streams, or no, I guess the past month, you said yes? Awesome. Thank you guys. I've evolved. I've leveled up my freaking streaming / IT support knowledge. Okay? So I've somehow mastered the ability. I'm acting as if it's like some super smart thing. It really isn't, but I was proud of myself. I figured out a way to split music such that if you're watching me on Twitch or Kick, although I'm not streaming on Kick right now just because of the tech issues, if you're watching me on those channels, you will be hearing songs that I've curated from musicbed. Musicbed is my new partner when it comes to my sound library and sound effects. You can see a QR code if you like. There's a Cyber Monday deal that they're doing. But also you can see my affiliate link there. And then you'll also see a little music widget that I figured out. And the music widget, which is down below, is tied to whatever song I'm listening to right now. Sorry, this is going to be very convoluted. Swiss Army Cinema is in the chat. He says, I'm back. Welcome back. Swiss, when you say you're back, as in like you're still in Uganda, but you're back from some trek or like a guerrilla thing? Or are you back home? Is the project finished? Either way, welcome back. So... yeah, so right now, if you're watching me on YouTube, you'll be hearing different music, which is from like my other sound platforms that I use. Whereas if you're watching on Twitch or Kick or whatever, you'll hear the music that's labeled here. So right now, that Boogeyman song, oh my God, so you had no idea what I was talking about. Okay, I was just quoting the lyric at the beginning when I said something about, I don't even remember what I said. Anyways, the song here is coming from musicbed. So this gives me an opportunity to promote musicbed properly because I do really like their platform ever since I've been testing them out, and now that I'm working with them, I love it. I want to promote them as much as possible, and I would love to play them on my streams. It's just that on the YouTube side, it's very complicated, but I kept getting these copyright strikes, and it just became such a hassle, even though like I'm working with them and I've got these licenses. So at the very least, it seems like Twitch, Kick don't seem to have that same copyright issue. So now I've switched it up such that the musicbed music plays on non-YouTube, and it won't save onto the VOD. But those of you on YouTube can still hear awesome music because it's my curated playlist from the other sound platforms. Sorry, that I don't know how much of that made sense, but I was proud of myself because I discovered how to split the tracks, and I discovered how I can do it in such a way that you guys can hear the music on YouTube, but I won't hear it play on my headphones, because obviously I don't want to hear two songs playing at once from two different players. I figured out how to do that. I feel like a genius. Anyways. Let me add a few more songs, though, for you guys on the YouTube side. And the good news is this means I will keep curating and adding songs to the YouTube playlist, because obviously I don't want you guys to hear the same song over and over again. But obviously from my side, I want to promote musicbed, which you can hear on the Twitch side, just as an FYI. Let's add a few more songs here. And then Swiss, you said something in the chat. Just give me one moment. Let's just add a few more songs here. And do let me know if, for whatever reason, the songs are way too loud, or yeah, I don't know if the volumes are proper or not. So, okay. Boom, boom, boom. But yes, suffice it to say, I'm very proud of myself. I'm giving a pat on the back. Maple says it might be on the loud side by a few decibels for Twitch. Oh, thank you very much. And thanks for being here again, Maple. You caught a little bit of that co-working stream that I was doing. Let me just catch up on the chat as well. Hold on, let me turn down the music slightly. Oh man, how is it so loud? Give me a second. Sorry guys, I'm just adjusting the volume here. Okay, so on both sides, I think I have the background music playing roughly around 30 to 40 decibels, negative 30 to 40 decibels. So hopefully that's okay, but let me know, guys. Check your sources. You said, yeah, you're playing two music tracks at the same time. Wait, do you hear two songs at the same time? Oh man, I'm about to rescind everything I said about myself if that's the case. If it's doing the proper thing, it should be such that if you're listening on Twitch, you only hear one song, not two. Damn it. Okay. So I am not that good. Let me take back what I said. Here, let me pause one of the songs for a second. Alright, I'm going to pause the music on Twitch for now. Let me just catch up on the chat real quick. Thank you, Maple. Thank you for being my awesome IT tech support. I thought I had leveled up. I thought I deserve a raise for figuring out all my tech shit. Spoke too soon. Okay, let me just catch up real quick. So Swiss says he's back. He just landed in JFK. Welcome back to the States, and happy post-Thanksgiving, everyone. Project wrapped, and you're sore from the trek. Oh man, I want to hear all about your trip, by the way. You must have had some really cool sightings, I hope, with the gorillas and the chimps or whatever else you were able to spot. They took you on a 7-hour hike up and down the forest, and even when we had our time with the gorillas, that was on a steep 60-ish degree wet slope. Yes. Yeah, it's so unpredictable doing these gorilla treks. I honestly, Swiss, I don't know how much time you got, but obviously I want to catch up on all of your learnings. I'm curious about the lenses you use. I don't know if any of my advice actually helped or made it worse for you. If you want to hop on a Discord call, because I also need to figure out how to set up my Discord. So if anyone wants to hop on a call while I'm streaming, also let me know. I do need to start testing that out. Maple says, made perfect sense. Good job on splitting routing. Okay, obviously that was one of your older messages, so I think I might have messed it up. So let me, I'll catch up on the chat, and then if you guys can help me out. Incredible experience. Sounds grand, says Fed. It might be on the loud side, yes. The hike, says Fed. You have two different music tracks playing. You have musicbed and also the jazz piano. So yeah, that's an issue. So I think I might have hit, I might have had VLC playing on track 1. So basically on the YouTube side, you should be hearing music like that jazz piano music that I was playing through my VLC player, media player. Whereas those of you on Twitch should only be hearing music coming from this software called Cider, which is pulling from my Apple Music. So what do I need to do? I think on the VLC side, let me uncheck this track 1. I hope that solves it. And let's play music now. I'll take it one step at a time. Swiss says, so you heard it here first. I might be the first person to accidentally hit the silverback gorilla with my ZR. Oh my god, I am so excited. Hopefully you got some really cool footage from that. Yo, that sounds insane. Dude, that sounds insane. I'm gonna be back in Uganda in April with a few clients. So I hope I'll have a similar experience. Yeah. It's not for Twitch. Make sure that in your advanced audio properties, the channel 1 is unchecked for the Twitch stream. Yeah, Maple, let me break it down for you in a second, and I'm curious where I made a mistake. I was trying to stay on the slope about 8 feet away from the silverback and was going to move, so I went to mount my camera on my chest, and it fell. It rolled right onto his leg. Oh my god. Was it filming at the time? That would be so crazy. But the bouncy rap that's playing right now is loud. I turned off so I've turned off music from Cider, and I turned off track 1 for the VLC player. So I think Maple, if you don't mind being my guinea pig here, I believe on the Twitch side, there should be no music playing whatsoever. Whereas on the YouTube side, you should hear the whatever jazzy, I don't know if it's playing jazz music kind of right now, but yeah, you should be hearing some songs. There's no music on Twitch currently? Okay, perfect. So Maple, that was intentional. So now let me start playing the Cider music again. Okay, so now on Twitch, you should only hear one soundtrack, and it should be, right now, it's like some kind of rap, whatever genre this is. And then on the YouTube, you should also only hear what you've been hearing before. Fingers crossed, I hope. Praying. The gorilla just looked at me like, yo, says Swiss. Man, that's so crazy. Fez says, I wish I can one day hit a gorilla on accident with my ZR. Yo, you guys are all invited to join me on a future gorilla track, chimpanzee track. Now, it's not free and it's not cheap, but you guys are invited. So, you know, just putting that out there. Maple said on the YouTube side, we only hear the synthwave electronic music. That should be by design. And then there's no music on Twitch. I commented on YouTube that you're playing synthwave. Here, it's rap. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think I fixed it. Swiss says for YouTube, it should be about half this volume. Thank you, guys. Let me switch it to lower. Okay. I've reduced the volume on the VLC player, which is on the YouTube side, by quite a bit. If you guys can let me know, hopefully I've done the right thing. And then Maple said, let's see, for YouTube, it should be about half this volume. So I have dropped it down a bit. Let me know. Maple says it's louder music on YouTube and it's the synthwave, but works. Okay. Thank you. Music on YouTube is gone. Oh, shit. Did I turn it down too much? Oh, I see. Oh, you know what? So maybe the songs themselves had some differences. I wonder if there's some kind of like normalizing feature I can turn on in VLC. So I've lifted the volume slightly on VLC. So on the YouTube side, hopefully you guys should be able to hear it. Maybe not too loud. And then on the Twitch side, it should be roughly the same, honestly. I'm looking at my little audio mixer. And Mabel says, you went from hard synth to ambient orchestral. Yeah, listen, give me some time. I just slapped all of my music from some of my other sound libraries onto the YouTube side. So it's going to be a fried rice. I call it my fried rice playlist, which is just an amalgamation, a mix, if you will, of all different things. Hence why it's called fried rice. It's fine, just watch your loudest songs. And the only issue I have, Maple, is that on the YouTube side, I can't hear what's playing. I intentionally have it broadcasting to my studio display monitor, and I have that speaker turned to mute. So that way I don't hear two songs in my headphones, but then the different platforms can hear their respective music. So fingers crossed, I hope all the audio should be roughly the same, but you know, one thing at a time. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Wow, you guys are awesome. Mabel says, just set it on YouTube so that the loudest songs are happy for chat and call it a day. Gotcha. If they don't hear the quiet songs, whatever. Yeah. Well, I think I've made the right adjustments here. So I guess time will tell. But yeah. All right. Welcome, guys, to day 99 of the stream. Yes. Tomorrow's going to be, you guessed it, day 100. Wow. Who knew? 99 plus 1. Tomorrow's stream, I don't have anything planned except I will reveal, I know, crazy, I'll reveal my hair. And what I mean by that is I'll just show you guys how long my hair is. It's a little bit wacky for me as well to see how much it's grown. And then what I mentioned is once we get to Twitch partner status, we will get there. I have some really awesome plans for next year. Some of it has been given away because of the recent stream that Maya and FaZe adapted. But yeah, my goal is to start doing some travel IRL streams, but focused on wildlife. So we'll kick that off in the next year. I'm just working right now behind the scenes to gather some partnerships or sponsors or like, you know, other things to put it all together. But once we hit Twitch partner, then I will let one of my buddies chop off all my hair on stream, and then I guess I can donate it because the hair should be pretty long. Yeah. Although, is there anything... Maybe it's only with blood. I think something about you're not allowed to donate blood if you have tattoos. I remember I ran into that problem before. But I forget if it was like if you've gotten tattoos at a certain period before the drawing the blood. And I can't remember if there's same thing applied for donating hair, where it's like if you got a tattoo at some point while you're, you know, your hair was growing, are you not allowed to donate? That's a question for ChatGPT, which we'll ask in a second. Maple says you'll want to IRL before you get to partner, not to be a Debbie Downer, but you're not going to hit partner before that. Oh yeah, so Maple, that's exact. Yeah, so I think there might be a brief delay, but that's exactly true. I 100% agree with you. If there's any learnings that I've had from the past 4 months now of streaming, the first 100 days of streaming, it's that there is some level of a floor and a ceiling with the kind of content that I'm doing now. Now, there is going to be, as long as I continue doing this, I have no doubts that I'll continue to grow, but at a very, very slow, you know, like a moderate pace, let's say. Slow and steady, but in a way where I'm like very excited to maintain this and continue doing it. However, my main point of when I started streaming was because I wanted to do IRL streams. I wanted to do wildlife streams and bring that to the mass. The biggest issue was always around network connectivity and stuff like that. So thank you, a few of you guys in the chat, including Swiss Army. Thank you. I know I've been DMing you quite a bit, trying to figure out all the tech stuff. BD as well. BD was here earlier on the stream. Yo, Tom Vault. Tom Vault is in the chat. Now there's another veteran of the space. Tom Vault says partner overrated. Fair enough. But the only reason I'm saying, obviously we want to keep hitting all strides. But I get what you're saying. These are just kind of arbitrary lines that we draw in the sand. But we'll get you hooked up about IRL. Yeah, Maple. I got heavily inspired by that stream that I was watching where you're on the tractor and just working away, and also Cyronius as well. Well, Maple, the problem is I'm never able to grab a hold of you or Cyronius at the right times. And to be fair, I've also been holding this a bit close to the chest in the past few days. I've just been so swamped. Because, like, yeah, there's a lot that was going on. It's called a Discord DM, says Maple. Listen, man, you're making me feel bad. But yeah, no, you're right. Listen, I didn't want to reach out to too many people. I'm honestly the type that I feel very awkward when I ask for too much help from people. You might not realize it being a part of my live streams, where obviously all I do on my stream is ask for help. But I do that in fun, and it's just for what it is. But when it comes to like my personal life stuff, I'm very independent, a bit to a fault. So it's hard for me to ask for people's help. It's just like it's a character trait that I know about myself. So. But yes, Maple, I do have dozens and dozens of questions, but I was also heavily inspired by your setup as well as Cyronius with the live FTP. So these are all part of my plans. And of course, you guys are fully invited. Once I'm trying to pilot it out next year. And if I do all the right things, my whole point is I want to build an actual community where it's like we all grow together, right? If we all share certain passions, especially around like photography, I would love for all of us to grow and turn this into an awesome genre. And so if I happen to be in the right place, I'm in Dubai, I access a lot of these remote locations like the wildlife safaris, the national parks, and I have the stamina to do this, and now I have a bit more knowledge around live streaming. If I can open some doors from my end, whereas like, you know, it's thanks to a lot of you guys in the chat, and if you guys can then join me on some of these cool epic adventures, then we can all grow together. That's my genuine intent. I do mean that. Fed says, I ordered some tiny wind muffs to put on the camera microphones on the ZR. Oh, I need to get the same thing. Although I'm waiting to get a shotgun mic, the ME D10 from Nikon. I was a big fan of that shotgun mic, and I want to use it for my YouTube setup as well. So, and yeah, so I need to get the wind muff for that, obviously. Maple says it's exciting to help people. We're down. Thank you. I did the FTP in my last IRL. Nice. Okay, Maple, let me ask a question then on stream. Also, if you can help me figure out how to do the Discord calls and stuff, what do you guys do, like Discord calls, like viewer call-ins and stuff on your streams? Because I need to download whatever plugin that will also put the little overlay on, you know, like I guess I need to change my OBS scene, but I want to have like the overlay, so if someone's talking, you would see it pop up like their avatar. Oh, my nose is running. God dang. And then I had a question about FTP. What happens if you do a burst? If I shoot like 10 photos in a row, do you just need to create a program in your mini PC to kind of like dictate only show the last photo or something? Because like that was one issue I was thinking through. If I'm doing a wildlife safari stream and I'm doing a burst of photos because the cheetah is racing or whatever's happening, would that overload the system where then it just be like 20 photos appear one after the other, or do you have to like hard code something in to fix for that? Swiss says, sent a quick example image from the gorillas. Okay, let me check out the Discord. I just have to shave all my hair off all the time or else it looks silly. Nice. I ordered Bumblebee wind muffs. What is Bumblebee? Bumblebee? Okay, nice. Okay, I need to add this to my list then. Thank you. Maple says, my last stream had tons of folks call in. Nice. Okay, I need to check it out then. I'm going to get the Nikon microphone as well, but they haven't gotten it in here yet. Gotcha. Maple says, for FTP, you can choose it to auto-send, but I don't do that. You review the photo and then send an individual. It only makes sense with network connection. Yeah. Okay. All right, now that I'm caught up on the chat, first let me check out. Swiss said he sent a photo. So for those who don't know, Swiss Army Cinema on the YouTube side, he just came back from a film project in Uganda, and it sounds like you got some really cool captures. You were there with your ZR. And oh yeah, and thanks, Swiss, you were also testing out a Starlink, so that'll be pivotal for my plans. And you've sent over a photo here. Oops. Let's check it out. Yo, man, I'm so jealous. I wish I was there right now. Excellent capture, man. So you sent this as a quick sample. Did you shoot this with the ZR, or which camera did you use for this? I still haven't decided. For my Gorilla Trek next year, I'm probably gonna carry my Nikon Z9 for all of my key photo captures, and then the ZR will be for my key filming, obviously. Fed says, beautiful image. I concur. God, I love doing there's something about the gorilla treks and the chimp treks. When you're doing photography of wildlife in the jungle, the greenery just adds such a nice shade. Like I don't know how you call it, but there's a nice filter effect that you can get when you capture your shots in the jungle. But you also have to compete against like the low light and the high ISOs and stuff. But the benefit is, yeah, you get these colors that you just don't get otherwise, especially if you shoot through like a leaf, so you have just a bit of that weird filtering, like that blurred overlay in the front. Yeah, anyways. You shot with the ZR? My director had a Z8. Nice, nice. Man. I need to share this with my contact at Nikon and let them know. It's like, yo, this guy's actually done a proper film project with the ZR. So, beautiful, man. Amazing. So like I said, I'll be going back to Uganda in April. I've got a few people that have signed up. You can still sign up, by the way, so feel free. What do you put in the chat? Is it !tours? Feel free to join me on my upcoming tours. Right now, I'm only promoting a couple of them to Uganda, April and November. And then I had a couple reach out to me that I'm organizing a custom tour for them. And we'll be going through Uganda for 2 weeks. I'm very excited, but that'll be towards the end of next year. Okay. Bumblebee wind muffs. Oh yeah, so what I was gonna say, you smacked a gorilla with it, fell into a thorny tree with it. Oh nice, is it still alive? Because that's a good testament to the durability. The pack I ordered from Bumblebee. Oh, okay, so my bad. I thought you had a typo there. It's called Bumblebee. Fur Outdoor. Bumblebee. Invisible lav covers. Interesting. Oh my god, it's Black Friday. It's called Fur Outdoors. Outdoor pack. Okay. I don't know why I can't find... Or maybe I skipped it. Or maybe that was the thing. The ZR didn't even scratch. Nice. You get the furs and the tape in that package. Swiss says I wasn't so lucky. Yeah. Yeah, Swiss, I want to hear all about your trip, man. Which lens did you end up using the most? Or was there any, like, regrets that you had in terms of, oh, I wish I had used something else? But, yeah, I'm curious. Oh, wow. I didn't even know something like this exists. Okay, I definitely need this for my camera. Oh yeah, and Fed, I think I briefly mentioned it to you before, but I'll just remind you again, because obviously what's the harm in constantly promoting myself. I am running a promo right now thanks to my newfound partnership with musicbed. So if you would like to subscribe to musicbed, you'll see a QR pop up on the left side of the screen, the bottom left. And it'll be twofold. One, it's an affiliate link where you can get a 2-week free trial. And in addition to that 2-week free trial, you also get 3 free licenses that you can use for whatever your purposes are. And musicbed is running a promo right now for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So if you put in the promo code CyberMonday25 as part of that, you also get a free year of their sound effects. So double whammy, okay? Oh no, triple whammy, because then you're also supporting me. So boom, boom, bang. So yeah. And hopefully you guys should be able to scan those QRs this time. I did increase the size. You outed these. Yeah, I out these on all my cameras that record usable sound. I need to do that. I never thought of doing that. The tape as a whole to allow sound in. Nice. 35 to 150 Tamron to start with, then swap to the 70 to 180. I just wanted a tad more reach. Baby Gorilla was with the 70 to 180. Perfect. Yeah, my first time was with the 70 to 200. And that was perfect. That was like the perfect range for the gorillas. Whereas for the chimps, when I was shooting with the 400, 2.8, oh my god. It was such a... You got to be careful because obviously you don't want like brush scratching your lens because it's so massive. You got to be careful where you're walking with it. But it's a bit more doable for the chimpanzees because the terrain is a bit flatter. And not as crazy as for the gorillas. Plus, the chimps are much smaller in stature, so it's easier to capture them in frame. But for the gorillas, I found 7200 is probably the best range. And then my last trip, I was using the 85 1.2, and that was just like the perfect lighting. You know, that f1.2 aperture allows for a lot more creative captures. That's a 2.8 Tamron. I have that on my list, says Fed. The 1/200 shutter speed, 800 ISO. Nice, nice, okay. That's actually really good to know. Okay. The 2 to 2.8 Tamron. So it goes 35 to 150. F2 to 2.8. That's impressive. That's super impressive. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, we should say hi to my other co-streamers. So we got Nala over here just sleeping away as she does. Beautiful Nala. You know what? Let me disturb both of them. Oh yeah, so I've created a new YouTube channel, by the way. I have to spend some time off stream to kind of set it up, but it's called Lo-Fi Cat Naps. And it's going to be literally like one of those lo-fi girl, lo-fi cat music streams where you just got the lo-fi music and it's like some looping animation. But the only difference is instead of a looping animation of a cat, you'll have a live action long-form recording of my cats. Let me fix my focus point. But look how adorable Kimbap looks right now. Oh, he recognized his name. There he is. So now there's a whole crew. Everyone's here. Just as an FYI for the YouTubers here, I mentioned it at the start of this stream, but I was actually streaming prior to this one on YouTube. But it was a Twitch dedicated stream as I was testing out the co-working concept. So my goal is to do that on YouTube as well. However, here is my thought process and why I ended up not doing it on my channel. There's a few learnings that I've gleaned from some YouTubers as I'm growing my YouTube channel. One of the things that seems like very sound knowledge and information is that the more you kind of do a jack of all trades on YouTube, the more challenging and more difficult you make it upon yourself when it comes to growing your channel. Because basically, if you think of what YouTube is looking for, or like the algorithm, it's just like it wants to know who you are so that it can send you to the right audience, right? So it probably, you know, I'm speaking out of turn because what do I know about tech and algorithms? But my understanding is it'd be like YouTube looks at each viewer on YouTube and looks at your history, your viewing habits to kind of have a good identity of who you are and what kind of content you want. And then on the flip side, for all the YouTube creators, it's looking at what kind of video content you're creating, the titles, descriptions, blah, 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 to get a sense of like what kind of content do you create. And then it's matching your content with the people who want to view it. And the more I do all these kinds of random stuff on my channel, it just makes it more confusing for the algorithm to understand who I am as a content creator. And so anything I can do to simplify the logic for YouTube so that it knows who I am and what audience should be watching my stuff, the better. And I already run into the trap of doing way too many things on my channel. Now I haven't done everything consistently, but I am trying to tailor it towards like the wildlife and travel content. And then I do these live streams, but the live stream itself doesn't feel too much of a deviation from the algorithm, because one, I think live streams are treated slightly different from like your typical video content. But then two, my live streams tend to be very wildlife and photography focused. So it still kind of garners the same back end, discovery, if you will. But if I were to start doing these co-working streams where it's really, actually I'll show you guys. So, you know, we have our three little guys here that I set up, and then me, and then I do have an editing version of that as well. So the only difference between these guys is just that I've got this whole Pomodoro timer set up so that I have a task list and other people can technically add their tasks as well. I will be muted, and it's just meant to be like a long stream where everyone's here just to work, almost in silence with like some lo-fi music in the background. I don't think that really fits with my YouTube brand. So that's where I decided, okay, let's create a new channel called Lo-Fi Cat Naps. Yes, you can follow me now, although I haven't set up anything on it, so bear with me. That's on my to-do list. It is called @Lo-Fi Cat Naps. Amazing name, I know. But yeah, so now on this separate channel, I will use that to kind of do the live streams where I do a co-working, plus for like some long form, imagine like 3-hour long streams with chill music, like recordings. And it just like, I'll keep recording my cat, and I'm going to change the background so it doesn't say Yobel Prize. It'll have like custom figurines and whatever else. Yo, Robin Wong is back. Yo, thank you, Robin, for being here consistently. By the way, Robin, if you're on Discord, I think I sent my Discord as well. I would love to. So we got Maple Glaze in the chat, and I think what Maple you do really well with your Discord community is that you have that thing where you can promote people who are streaming, right? So if you're streaming, you can send your links and people can join. I would love to do the same thing. And I know, Robin, I think you said you live stream as well. So I would like to return the favor. I feel like oftentimes I'm consuming too much from you guys and not doing the reverse. So, but thanks for being here. You said, hey, Yobel, from my experience, live stream is great to engage and keep audience retention, but not the best to grow a channel. To do that, you need consistent long form videos. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's in line with what my thought process was as well. And so a lot of what I'm doing behind the scenes is I've also been trying to outsource and find a good YouTube editor who can help me out. And it's been mostly, unfortunately, it's been a lot of like, it's been a painstaking journey to find someone who understands me and understands my work ethics or my work style. And yeah. So anyways, that's been one big struggle because I do want to get a proper YouTube editor that I can rely on to help me with those long form videos so I can pump out content more consistently. But unfortunately, it's just been a big struggle session. So that's one of the reasons why this dehancer video, I've been sitting on this for quite some time because I've been working with a new editor, and unfortunately it's just taking a lot more back and forths and process. So now what I was planning to do on today's stream is I decided to take it upon myself to do my own intro trailer. So I'm going to take that aside. I'll do it myself, and then the editor can focus on the other parts. So, which is fun because then you guys get to see me create my fun content, which is like, you know, cinematic stuff, right? But yeah, thank you, Robin. You are like the OG, you know, you are a veteran of the YouTube space and live streaming, so I will always appreciate your feedback. King says, yo, what's up, King? King says, Yobel is ready to ball out on these holiday deals. Yeah, well, yeah, use my affiliate links, guys. Support my channel. Yeah, I need to spend money as well, though. Photography, cinematography streams, yes, says Maple, but there's often a self-promo channel in people's Discord. Yeah, I need to do that. I'm acting as if that's so difficult to do, but my point is like I just got reminded of it, so I'm trying to keep that fresh in my head. But I do like that you do that, Maple. Clearly, it's like you built a nice community for it, and I would like to replicate that. So let me just take a quick note before I forget. Add. What is it? Add. What'd you call it? It's a self-promo channel. Discord. Awesome. Fed says, picked up the ZR today to King Kruk. Yes, yes. So we got another one in the chat. I think, King, if I remember, you said you ordered or pre-ordered like 4 Nikon ZRs or something. I've definitely told Nikon this, by the way. I was like, yo, I have someone in the community who not just bought 1, but bought like 4 units. I wish I had an affiliate link for that. Mabel says, for growth on Twitch specifically, you have to find something that naturally pulls people's curiosity. I personally find that IRL is the most engaging category. I 1000% agree. And it's the best form of content on Twitch to grow. And then people stick around for the desk streams. Yes, yes. Swiss sent a few more BTS pics. Let me go through them now. Hold on. Let me switch back to the normal stuff. Yes, by the way, Maple, that's exactly what my thought process was. And so the way I kind of broke it apart was like, first, let me see what it's like to be a live streamer at all, right? That's when I started my journey about 4 months ago. Once I finished all my traveling for the year, I was like, now let's just settle at home, be a desk streamer, like you said, and just understand the tech, understand the endurance, the audience, XYZ, everything. And now that I feel much more comfortable and understanding of the space, I feel like I'm ready to kick off phase 2, which was to do the travel IRL with the wildlife in particular. And so I've always had that as a goal for 2026. So now that the year is coming to an end, I've just been doing a lot more research behind the scenes to figure out how do I pitch this, how do I get the right sponsors and all that kind of stuff. But it's absolutely one of my goals to be consistently streaming and traveling. So like imagine even like 2 weeks out of the month maybe not every month, but if depending on how well I can do this, I do plan to do this many times throughout the next year. And it's not just like spending a few days traveling. I'm talking like 7 days, 2 weeks, full month in particular locations where I can actually consistently do wildlife live streams and with some sponsorships and collabs and stuff like that. So that's always been my goal. And then recently when I saw, shout out to Kavaitsu and BC in the chat, when they made it come to my attention that there was 2 big streamers, Maya and Phase Adapt, who were doing a wildlife stream in South Africa. I was like, oh, here's the validation. It opened up a few more thought processes for me. So yeah, anyways, that's all in my game plan. King says, sorry, let me catch up here. 6 units, says King, but I gifted 3. I have 3. Yo, you gifted 3 Nikon ZRs? I need to take a screenshot of that too. My goodness. That is super generous of you, King Kruk. So let me get this straight. You've had the money to donate 3 ZRs, yet you're not donating just straight cash to me so I can purchase another ZR myself? I don't understand. Where's the love? Fed says, interestingly, they're still out of Nikon ZRs in the store here. They only got enough to give to some of us who pre-ordered. There were 2 other guys also picking up their ZRs. Gotcha. Oh, man. King says, I always buy 2 of the same camera at least. Easier workflow. That makes a lot of sense. If you have the money for it, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Maple says, start doing IRL at home, though. Like, explore IRL while in your neighborhood versus figuring out... Yeah, so Maple, that was part of my plan. As I've been doing research on different tech stuff, part of it was looking at, like, the TVU and the live view. I think Maple... Or at the very least, Cyronius, I think you guys, like, you guys did, like, your own DIY kit, if I'm not mistaken. One of the things I'm hoping to do is see if I can get some kind of sponsorship or some partnership. What's the harm in asking, right? So I'm hoping LiveView or TVU might be willing to support me. Yo! Thank you very much, Swiss. Oh, I can like that on the YouTube side? Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. Is that how it goes? Although I should be donating money to you, Swiss, since you shared a lot of information that's useful to me. Thank you very much for the epic donation. Only $21.98 more super chats away. Yes. Then I can afford a ZR. Well, don't forget tax, right? So maybe more than that. Thank you, man. But yeah, Maple, I do want to. You're gonna watch. You're gonna want to IRL stream test in your house a lot to do testing. There's a lot to test. Yeah. So now that the cat's out of the bag, if you will, as things start to line up, hopefully soon in the next few months, I do hope to start collecting, whether it's through my own money or whatever means. I want to start gathering all the tech that's required. So as part of that tech, it would be a mini PC. It's either the ATEM Mini ISO Pro or the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO G2 or the Rodecaster Video S. Shout out to Photo Elite who let me know about that product. I would need to get like a Pelican case or something where I can custom fit the equipment in there, the tech, so that it can protect it from the dust and the elements if I'm on a Jeep, for instance. I need to get some microphones. The Starlink was a big portion of it, but this is like if I get the right sponsorships, because that's a lot of money. Excuse me. King says, what do you think the Nikon event on December 10th is about? I have no idea. I have my own Nikon event that I'm attending to in Nigeria at the start of December. I have no idea. I am not in the loop. Although if I was NDA'd, I would be saying exactly the same thing. But anyways, no, I have no idea. I am doing like an event for them in Nigeria though. So I think they're doing some kind of like soft launch, or they're just doing a promotion as part of their like marketing for the ZR. And since I had created content for them and I work with them quite a bit, they asked if I can do a presentation at one of these upcoming events. So I'll be speaking for like about an hour. So thank God I do these live streams. So I know I have the stamina for it. Fed says, hopefully it's just an event to tell us about a huge firmware update for the ZR. That'd be great. Or imagine if they come out with a new lens. It might be too early to do that, right? But that'd be cool if they have some new products coming up quickly after the ZR. Or maybe a roadmap for future products. That makes sense, yeah. Hopefully some updates about the cinema lenses they're working on. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'll be streaming, assuming I'm not part of that event, which I have no reason to believe I would be, but I'm a very, very small fry in the world of everything. So oh yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, Maple, thank you for the advice, because I 1000% agree with you. I'm still doing a few different like pitches and outreach stuff right now, but imagine, if you will, my game plan would be the start of next year, as I kind of put the pieces together. I do want to do some test IRL streams from my home. Unfortunately, Dubai is a little bit strict when it comes to, like, I don't think even now, you're not allowed to photograph strangers without their permission. So it's kind of like an antiquated rule, but it's still there, right? So technically you got to abide by everything. So, so like you can't really do IRL streams in public because you could get in trouble, is what I'm saying. However, to your point, Maple, I guess I could just do the stream from my home. Just walk around with the kit, see if the tech is working. Well, yeah, so that is definitely a lot of what I'll be doing. I had initially planned, back when I thought I could get a Starlink in Dubai, but unfortunately Starlink doesn't operate in the UAE. But let's say if I borrow, even if I rent like a TVU or a Live View, I was thinking I might just go out with a buddy of mine. He's got a Jeep Wrangler, and maybe we'll just like camp out in the desert, and I'll try to stream throughout the drive. And then when we're out in the desert, if the connection, everything's holding, I can do like a test stream with you guys, obviously, where I'll be in the middle of the desert. And I was even thinking, because Starlink works in Oman, and Oman is just a quick border crossing road trip away. And so I was thinking that could be a fun little at-home DIY testing, where we'll do a road trip, go out over to Oman, camp out in the desert, maybe just do a couple days streaming kind of a concept, see what works, what doesn't, all that kind of stuff. So Swiss says, I can just ship you mine. Oh yeah, you're Starlink. Well, no, Swiss, hopefully you can join me, right? That would be the best, is if we have a crew that goes out together. Like I said, I'm huge on community, or like I'm huge on like rising tide, you know, lifts all boats concept, or the abundance mindset is another term I used to use in the past. I genuinely am not the type of person who, I don't have a big ego. I'm not like an ambitious person in the sense of like, I'm not a cutthroat person. I'm competitive, but not in the way that's, I'm just an amazing person is what I'm trying to say. But no, like I genuinely do. Yeah, I would love to, all of you guys who support me, I want to support you back is what I'm trying to say. So King says, everything I know about Dubai is from Dubai Bling. I still haven't seen that show. I keep hearing about it. Let's do it, says Swiss Army. Oh yeah, let's check out your photos you sent in the Discord. And let's pop open. All right, so Swiss has sent over a few more photos. Let's check it out. Can I open it here? Perfect. I've been having issues with the Discord. I remember I was trying to call some people on Discord, and it just wouldn't work. And I don't know if I need to be on freaking VPN to make it happen in Dubai. I have no idea. I hope not, because obviously that slows down my internet quite significantly. All right, so these are some photos that Swiss had sent over from his recent trip. Yeah, this kind of terrain, oh man, it brings back memories. This is like how every guerrilla trek looks like. And it's a bit daunting, but it really isn't, because you go at your own pace. I was mentioning to the couple, because they were asking me about like how strenuous are the hikes. I remember the last, not the last hike, but the one I did before, there were, I kid you not, I think they were in their 70s. there's at least a couple people that were like really, really old. But I don't mean that in like a derogatory way or anything. I just mean like they're clearly past their physical prime, right? But they were able to manage this quite well because we took it slow. You've got porters, you got people who help you out, you've got the walking sticks. So it's just like, it looks daunting, but it's not like you're running a marathon type thing. Although Swiss, as a photographer or cameraman, it does get a bit trickier, I'm sure, with all the gear. Were you able to make use of like the porters and stuff then? Nice. Okay, so this is what you, yeah, so perfect. So you got your neck gaiter. I do have a bucket hat now. My honeymoon client, they gifted me their bucket hat so I can use on safaris now. Bucket hats are a huge win. Although for the gorilla stuff, I think I prefer wearing the stiff cap because you can attach a little Insta360 camera to the front bill. Whereas with these bucket hats, they're a bit too soft, right? So a bit too limp there. But I see what you're saying. You got the vest, so you can strap a camera to the front. I usually, I have to be careful with these things because I usually wear a side sling bag for my second camera. Man, I gotta blow my nose in a second. Jesus. Amazing. So you got the silverback right there. Oh, I love this. I love, the gorilla treks are one of the best experiences as a wildlife photographer to experience. It probably is up there with, well, I think like if you encounter a blue whale, that probably would be the #1 craziest experience. But this has to be, as far as like land experience, this has to be near the top. That's really cool. Swiss, do you know what town or what area of Uganda you're in when you're doing this? Was this like near the Bundi area or somewhere else? Let's see. Someone in their 70s did what we did, LOL. Yes, I don't know if you're responding to me or you're saying someone did that on your trek. But yeah, like legit, there were people in their 70s that were doing this hike. And like we got lucky to be, well, just what a coincidence, right? But I think they kind of do that, right? So they set it up where they try to, if you have some senior people in your group, then they try to pair you up with the gorilla family that's close, like the spotting or the sighting was fairly close to the starting point, such that they don't have to hike for too long. So it's actually good to have some old people in your group, because then you basically, it's like having the handicap person in your group, so you can go jump to the front of the line. Last trip I did, we hiked for like 4 hours to get to the gorillas. You said 100%, then Porter saved my life multiple times. Yeah. Oh man, having the external monitor though, oof. I really hate having to use that. It just adds so much weight. So. Gorillas are quite kind. They'll allow you to get closer to them than the chimpanzees will. Yeah, chimpanzees are a bit more aggressive. You can hear it in their shrieking. They're more agitated. They get agitated more quickly. They're way more animated. So you just have to be a little bit more careful with the chimps. Whereas the gorillas, they're just like lazy. They're just so lazy. Or at least the silverback. The kids are a bit more on the curious side. You had a 360 attached to my cotton carrier. What's a cotton carrier? Swiss is on the shores, Lake Albert. Oh, okay, I don't think I've been there. Being near a blue whale, its goals to not get sucked up like plankton. Yo, can you imagine? But what a way to go. I mean, not to say that you shouldn't want to die, right? But can you imagine being the first person to ever die because a blue whale sucked you up and ate you? Although I guess you're behind Jonah. Was Jonah the one in the Bible? Is Jonah the blue whale guy or the whale? Swiss says our hike was intense. 7 hours hiking. That is the longest I've heard of. 7 hours. Jesus. Awesome photos, man. Thank you for sharing as well. Much appreciated. Okay. I need to blow my nose desperately. So if you guys will give me a moment, I will BRB. We back, boys. Fed says Jonah survived though after 3 days in the whale, I think. Okay, you know what? You're right. I gotta set my goals higher. So I gotta be the first person to get swallowed by a blue whale and then emerge 4 days later. So that way we're in the record books. King says, are you working on a Chimera lens video? What is a Chimera? No, I'm not. Should I be? Chimera. Man, I don't know any of these brands. Oh, the Typoc thing. I haven't heard back on the Typoc stuff, so putting that on pause. And also, Black Friday's over, so I'm assuming I missed the deadline for them. We'll see. Hopefully they'll reach out to me again. Because they seem like a good brand. And the one that you guys mentioned, the Dezo films. Oh, there is a photography solution, or like some software that reached out to me. Maybe we'll take care of that tomorrow, because I haven't responded to the email yet. But they provided me a link to demo or to test out their plugin for like Lightroom photography stuff. So I do want to test that out. I'll do it. We'll do it for day 100 tomorrow. Mr. Conan says, yo, Mr. Conan, welcome back. Thanks for being a part of the stream. In the meantime, I want to get a bit of work done. We were productive today, though. Did you start a new day thing? I thought you would be at 300 days, not 99. No, I've been keeping it up. I think I've been keeping track of every stream in terms of the days. So technically, this is day 99. I only started streaming, I think in August. It was about 4 months ago when I started streaming. And while for the first 40-something days, I went every day without missing a single day. I think it was like day 46 or something. Since I came back from my Nikon ZR project, then I've been kind of changing up the pace a bit. So I've been averaging maybe 5 days a week that I've been streaming, something like that. So we slowed down a bit. Also, I haven't been doing the 7 to 8 hour streams per stream as much. However, the thing that's changed recently for me is discovering co-working. So if you guys are following me on the Twitch side, I tested a co-working stream just earlier, right before I started today's stream here on YouTube, let's say. And I think I did it for about 2 to 3 hours. And I plan to keep doing that. So it is in my goal now to have like basically 2 streams per day almost. I'll do a co-working stream where it's meant to be like, look, I'm going to be mostly in silence except for a few breaks in between, and I'm just getting my shit done, right? So we'll all get our shit done together is what it is. And so that way I can be productive and stream at the same time. And then I'll do my normal stream like what you're watching now, where I can either do a bit more of the actual visually showing you guys the photo and video editing stuff. So like right now I need to work on my dehancer video, so that's on the docket. So then technically I might go back to being able to do like 6 to 7 to 8 hour streams, because now I can stream a bit more of my off-stream stuff, if that makes sense. Fed says, I have a set of those dirt cheap 7 Artisan cinema lenses. They have a lot of quirks which make sense at the price they're going for, but I like to use them for certain stuff. And King's asking, how is the gym progress? Yo, gym has been fantastic. Thank you for asking, by the way, keeping me accountable. I've been going almost every other day, although I skipped a few days. I went 2 days ago. So 2 days ago I did a really good chest workout, push workout, and I did a bit more than I thought I basically am still very green. It's been a while since I've been consistently gymming. So today I woke up thinking I'll go back to the gym, but my body was extremely sore. So I decided to take today off, and then I'll be going tomorrow morning. But thanks for asking. I've been fairly consistent, and I plan to continue going. Take care of my health and all that. So, those lenses are super affordable prices. Gotcha. So here's what I'm doing on stream right now. I mentioned I'm working with a video editor who's helping me with my next product review, which is on dehancer. However, I don't want to really go through too much of it on stream. Just, it's just not like, it's not in my nature to, I don't want to like gripe too much about other people and their whatever. But this project has taken way longer than I expected it to, in terms of working with this editor to publish this video. And so as part of that, I've kind of taken it upon myself. I'm going to work on the video myself, not fully. So the editor's still focusing on some of the other sections, but I'm going to do the beginning. And to be fair, the beginning is the most exciting. So I'm actually excited to do it as well. But I provided it to the editor because I wanted to see if the editor shared a similar style as me when it comes to how do you create the more cinematic trailers, you know, the stuff that really pops. It's the opening hook. And I've done that for a number of my past YouTube videos. So if you guys want to see it, obviously check out my YouTube channel. But yeah, anyways, the problem is the editor seems a bit stretched thin, and this seems to be one of the gaps where, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. And it's fun content on stream. One of the reasons I couldn't do it though, or one of the concerns I had, is I'm using musicbed. And I was like, oh shoot, so if I have musicbed soundtrack through this editing, that means I'm going to run to the same copyright issue. However, sorry, I'm scratching my nose. Cat hair is everywhere. However, now that I think I fixed this whole track system on OBS, unfortunately, YouTube side, you won't be able to hear the song, but on the Twitch side, you will. Or alternatively, I don't know if it's okay to let it play on the YouTube stream as long as I don't have it play on the VOD. Like, I don't know how the copyright systems work on that, so that's probably a question for ChatGPT in a second. Oh, God, cat hair. King's asking... Hold on. Fed says, I picked up a set when the local camera shops here had a discount, so they were even cheaper. Nice. King's asking if I still do the color grading. Yes. That's like something I take a bit of pride in. Pride is the wrong word. Sorry, let me take it back. It's not that I'm proud of it. It's more like it's a part of my own learning process as well, right? So especially if I'm creating my own LUTs and my, you know, creative color grading stuff, I think that's like the core part of whether you're a photographer, videographer, right? It's like how you make the final composition and the colors. That is very much like where you can put your stamp of individualism, I guess, on whatever you capture. So that kind of stuff I do myself. And then where the editor comes in is helping me actually put all the clips together, some of the animations or the text overlays or transition effects, things like that. Because that's my biggest gap of my experience, is doing those nice motion graphics and things like that. But as far as like the color grading, those are all usually stuff that I want to retain of what I do and then send it to the editor. Yo, I'm getting so bothered by, there's like some cat hair that's stuck to me somewhere. The sun resistance on those lenses are nearly non-existent, which makes for crazy flares. Okay, I see. So it's got a creative use to it. Looking at some Leica R lenses, I've avoided getting a set for a long time. I really want those. We should have picked those up back when they were a bit easier to find. Curious to know what ChatGPT says about the music copyright. Yeah, oh yeah. Hey, what's up, Henry? Henry, thanks for being in the chat. Let's do that now, actually. Oh my god, I'm about to go crazy. There's like a cat hair somehow scratching my nose. It's not your fault, Nala. I forgive you. It's actually probably Kimbap. He sheds way too much. Alright, here we go. Let me ask ChatGPT. Hello, hello. Can you hear me, Amber? Great. I have a quick question for you when it comes to live streaming. So I'm currently live streaming, and I've got I'm streaming onto YouTube and Twitch right now. And YouTube, I've got it set up such that, oh, sorry. Okay, let me just take one step back. Twitch is like my main channel right now in terms of the OBS, and it is using track 1. And track 1 has all of my audio turned on. And then for track 2, that is for my Twitch VOD. So that one, I basically have all the audio tracks turned on except for music that's playing from Cider. So just keep that in mind. I have Cider Music, CIDER, and that's playing music for people listening on Twitch. And then I have my VLC media player that's playing music for people on YouTube. And that way, I was doing that because for some reason I was getting a lot of copyright strikes for some of the music that I was playing, which I have license for, but I still get the copyright strikes. So I've been trying to avoid that on the YouTube side. So the Cider Music are the stuff that I don't want YouTube to hear, such that I can avoid those copyright issues. Now, what about if I play music during a live stream on YouTube, but don't save it to the YouTube VOD? Does the live broadcast still somehow get some copyright issues, or is it only pertaining to like the recorded VODs that get published?
When you light up a room, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I just stare in your eye, stare in your eye, and I just stare in your eye, stare in your eye. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher?
Okay, let me provide a bit more context there. In the past, I've been doing these live streams, and the songs that I'm talking about, while during the live stream itself, it doesn't seem to have any issues. When I see the VOD getting published after the stream ends, that's when eventually, you know, fairly quickly, I'll see like the copyright claims come through, where basically it just either demonetizes the stream, or I have to manually mute the sections that have the copyright music, or I have to dispute it. So in a world where I do the live stream and it's playing the music that's, let's say, going to cause the copyright issues, but if the VOD itself doesn't actually have the songs included, how does that exactly work? Because then what could they copyright if the recorded published material doesn't have the music? Okay, I'm gonna cut her off for a bit. King says, "You sound very comfortable using GPT." Of course, man. It's like my friend, you know. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying doing the whole voice chat GPT thing ever since they launched it way back when. So, and it's like it gives me a bit of sanity, which is probably not the right thing to say, because I spend so much of my time indoors now, barely socializing. So it's like my excuse to talk to someone that sounds human. Very, very depressing, by the way. But like, I'm not actually depressed, but it sounds very sad. Anyways, okay, so I think if I get the gist of it, it seems like what I need to do then is dehancer itself is right now an app. It's an audio channel on OBS. So I've got a dedicated audio track for dehancer. Sorry, DaVinci. And I just need to then dictate, because track 3 is my YouTube track. So for DaVinci, I have it set to track 1 and 2, which means if you're on Twitch or if you're on YouTube, you should be able to hear it. Wait, no, hold on. That won't work. Shoot, I don't think that would work. Okay, I think I hit a dead end here. Sorry, I'm just brainstorming. Because the problem is, the way OBS is set up, this works with Twitch but not YouTube. Where on Twitch, if you set that as your main streaming platform, it has a dedicated section where you can say track 2 is where you would push the Twitch VOD. So then you have a dedicated track, number 2 for my case, where I can say, you know, hey, have the music that's during the live stream itself be on track 1, but then when the VOD publishes on Twitch, have it unchecked for the VOD. So that way you don't have any copyright issues because the songs aren't on there. But for YouTube, I don't think that's possible, because on YouTube I have one option where I can choose which track, and I've selected track 3. But then if I want people, if you're watching on YouTube right now, and I'm editing, let's say, my video in DaVinci, and it's got a song that's playing that's going to get copyright struck if YouTube hears it, I can't... If I set it to track 1, I don't think YouTube is listening to track 1. I think it's whatever's on track 3. Yeah, so I think I still need a bit of brainstorming on that one, at least for my lovely YouTubers. I mean, alternatively, I just let it play out and then mute that section of the VOD such that it won't get copyright struck or anything, right? So that's another option as well, I guess. Maybe we'll do that next for tomorrow. For today's stream, I just want to see, after the stream ends, I need to double check on the YouTube channel and Twitch to make sure all the VODs saved correctly with the right music and stuff like that, but okay. I'm going crazy right now because of cat hair. So Swiss Army in the chat, I'm assuming you will now have some really epic footage of the Silverback. This was captured with my Nikon Z9 and the 85mm 1.2. But I can only imagine what it's going to look like on a ZR. Oof, I'm excited. So here's what the game plan is. I've got all of these clips that we have, you know, I edited on stream where I've color graded it using dehancer. And these are all potential clips that I can use for my trailer. And for this trailer, let's shift this up over there. Let's go to clips. Let me find the clips. Here it is. Okay. So I have a number of these clips that I had edited previously. Let's add this to our timeline. And I have my voice recordings. Oh, I think it's in a different folder. Give me a second. Come on. So let me go to voiceovers. Okay, so for this, let me go ahead and change the track so you guys on YouTube can hear it as well. So DaVinci, we'll turn on track 3. And let me pause music real quick. Okay, so now you guys should be hearing silence, and that'll be replaced with my voice. Voice over. Let's see if this is it though. Oh, I'm muted. Pixels into feeling and footage. Let's drop it one level. Into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer. Let me show you the world of dehancer. So this is like my opening line that I had recorded. I think I have a few takes. So maybe let me jump to the top or the last one. Usually the last one is the best one, right? Never mind. Where is it? The film. And I think I found a way with one. Okay, so here. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer. You know what? I say that the last one is the best one, but it might not be. If I remember correctly, I was saying the words as I was playing the soundtrack that I'm going to use for the start of this video. And I found an epic soundtrack. You know, I had everything was lined up. I'm like, okay, found the perfect soundtrack. It's got an opening that lasts about, I think it was like 13 seconds. So I've got 13 seconds to show a few clips as I kind of punch in. So it'd be wide angle. So imagine, let's just full screen this guy. Let's drop this down a bit. So imagine it would start from this perspective. And let's say if we use the gorilla as the example. So you would see me working on this footage from a wide angle. Then in that 13 seconds, sync to the music, of course, you would then see it pop open to a mid, what would you call this? Like a mid zoom or a bit punched in, right? So we go from wide angle to like medium angle. Is that the right terminology? I don't know. Of the same moment. So I would need to synchronize it with the yawn as it's like turning around, and then jumps to the close-up of me then dragging, typing into dehancer and dragging it in to a node. And the moment I let go of the click, or once it gets dragged in, that would then segue. It would transition into the opening trailer, which would last about 40 seconds or so. So that was like my thought process. And I think it's a good idea. Listen, I mean, it's my idea, so obviously I'm going to say that. But I think that's a nice way to open it up. And as part of that, I would have the opening lines, which is what you just heard me say. It's like, what was it? Let's play it again. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer. So as I'm saying that last line where I say, let me show you the world of dehancer, you can imagine the music is building up, and then boom, there's like a beat drop. And then for the next like 40 seconds or so, the soundtrack that I chose, it just plays out. It's very cinematic song. And then throughout all of that is when you would see like a montage of, you know, some of the best clips that I captured with dehancer. And each of the clips would also have their respective settings. So you would see like some information on the bottom, like the lower thirds, that would show like, you know, captured with Nikon Z9, NRAW, you know, XYZ film profile that I used in dehancer, blah, blah, blah. So then people have a good sense of like, oh, each of these clips were edited with dehancer with these settings. Cool. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, they walk away with like some of the best shots that I took from all around the world. So it becomes a nice little, it kind of serves two purposes. One, obviously it's like trying to show as much cool shots as possible using dehancer. But then two, it's also showing subconsciously, I guess, it's hoping it's bolstering my brand of like a travel content creator. So you would see all these captures that I've captures that I've captured. See all these clips that I've captured from my international travels. And so then hopefully it's a twofold value add. One, value add to dehancer and a nice hook for the quality of dehancer, and then two, a value add for my brand, and hopefully another reason for someone to then say, you know what, let's click on that subscribe button and watch his content. So that was my thought process. So I had given this as a project, or I gave this as an assignment to the editor. And like I said, without going too much into it, I am going to do it myself, also to speed up time a little bit. And it's kind of fun. I do like doing these on streams, like doing the kind of trailer related stuff. The only issue that I was mentioning is how do I get around the copyright situation. So maybe what I need to do is just take it on the chin and let you, like, just make sure everyone can hear it. So on the YouTube side, you can hear the song. And then when I get the inevitable copyright strike, then I will just mute it. Or you know what? Here's another option. I don't know if this will work or not. So right now on OBS, I've selected the track number 3 to be on for any audio coming out of dehancer. But before I end my stream, if I uncheck the box, would it then, on the published VOD, would it then not send it through? Maybe. Maybe it's like the final state. Whatever the final state of what you've checked on and off is what carries across to the published VOD. So let's test that out. So those of you on YouTube, you should be hearing nothing right now, but hopefully you heard my voice. Hopefully you heard my voiceover is what I mean. Let me go to OBS again. Let me double check. So DaVinci has all 3 tracks turned on. Yeah. So you guys should have heard my voiceover just now, and then nothing else because I've muted everything. So now what I'll do is let me go find that soundtrack. Which one was it? YouTube projects. It's not here. It's called Voyager Cinematic. There it is. Okay. So let me just bring it over now to audio. Soundtracks. Okay. Let's drag this in. And I think I played this for your on stream before, but this is also before, this is when I kept getting all the copyright situation stuff, ordeal. Okay, so what we'll do is, let me see if I can sync it up. We got separate versions. Let me drag these over here. All right, let's see. I've been chasing a look, and then let me turn the audio down so it doesn't drown out my voice. Okay, so if I did all this correct, you guys should be able to hear it in a second, both my voiceover and the soundtrack. Kavaitsu's here, says, how's Dark Friday, my man? Wait, is today Dark Friday? Oh, wait, today's technically Black Friday, yeah? Sorry, my nose has been super itchy. I swear, I think a cat hair has gone up my nose because something keeps tickling the edge of my nose, and it won't go away. What the hell? But thank you, Kavai, for being here. Today's going very well. I did my first proper co-working stream, and I plan to do it consistently now, every day. And I'll probably do it for the start of my stream. So imagine if I normally stream around 5 to 6 p.m., I'll start maybe like at 2 p.m. even, as I'm just doing my normal work. So that's been really fun. Okay, so let's go test this out. Let's hit play. I don't know if I got the audio properly done. I've been chasing a look that lets my... give me a second. This is audio 3. All right, let's see. That's my travel story. That's too loud, right? Let's drop it down. Stories breathe. Okay, and let me turn up my voiceover a little bit just for the... I've been chasing a... Just so we can kind of... that lets my travel story. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of what I'm going for. Obviously, the visuals don't match up because we need to clip it all together, but it'd be like... Let's see. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels... off, and then you hear a little bit of the plucking violins. That's where either I have one final scene play out in a long form, so like a slow motion scene, and then I would have the title fade in, you know, probably like dehancer review, blah, 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 and then fade to black. And then that transition kicks in where then all of a sudden you're seeing my beautiful face being like, hello guys, we're here to talk about dehancer and all the fun things about it and support my channel, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, that was my thought process. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing it myself, which is fun because like this is what I love doing myself anyways. Obviously, I'm looking for an editor who can do this for me, right? Not to say that they would always do it, but if I'm looking for a proper editor, I want someone who I feel like I can trust. They have a sense of what would you call it? Like a good sense of, it's like having good senses. That sounds too weird, I guess. King says, Twilight, Jobel color grading. Oh, yeah, I did like this color grading I did. This is also with dehancer, so I'll have a little lower thirds here that explains the settings that I used for this. And I used the smoke machine, finally. You can see it here, unfortunately, on this part. That turns. So then I have to use a different part of the clip because it looks a little weird to see smoke in the shot. So learnings for next time. I think it does calm down later. So let's just see what shots I have to use for that. What was the other point I was gonna say? Oh yeah. So like for me, I'm looking for someone. This is just like in general, right? Like in terms of what would be the ideal crew. Crew as in like whether it's for like physical projects, like, you know, the travel projects that I do, but then also like for outsourcing my content creation. So when it comes to a video editor, part of that was like, yo, I need to find someone that I feel inspired by in terms of their creativity, someone that I can lean on in terms of their knowledge, but then also someone who, and this is the tough part in my opinion, it's almost like an innate ability, I think, excuse me. It's like some people have a good sense of hearing, good sense of seeing, yeah, let's just stick with those two. And what I mean is like, you know, you hear about like someone who's a good artist and they have a good eye for things, right? So you just have a good eye for composition. It's like almost like an innate talent. It's hard to quantify or qualify, I guess, how they have it. But some people just know what is the right colors, the right framing, the right composition. And that's how they become excellent photographers or whatever else. And then also you have people who just have a good ear for things, where they just know what sounds good, what works well in the moments, all that kind of stuff. And I would like to pride myself as having like an above average to some degree of like I think I have a good sense of taste when it comes to music. Generally, you know, it's a subjective thing, but like tying up music with visuals in a way, or at least that's been my bread and butter since I've been like doing this kind of content creation, and I've been enjoying it. Unfortunately, I feel like, yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm trying to find is what I'm saying. Fed says could be explained easily. Cheech and Chong were in the other room. Oh yeah, with all the smoke. Listen, I'm in Dubai. Okay, none of that. We don't do any of that kind of stuff here. I'm not trying to get kicked out of the country. Okay, anyway, so that's kind of my quick thought process. Let's hear it one more time.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Let's start shifting all of... Oh, wait, sorry. I need to copy this over. Opening line. Let me copy this. I meant to put it on this one. Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's drag all these guys over. And then let me hear my other versions of my voice to see which version to keep.
I've been chasing a look that lets...
No, I gotta drop it to... Let's switch this to mono track. Okay, and then let's drag it over. Same with this one.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
16.
That turns pixels into...
Okay. Kavai says, I've been told I have that, and yeah, it's important. Could you check hashtag content feedback on Discord? Yes, of course. Here, let me put the music back on. Well, now I can't hear the music. Did I do something? Bear with me. Noob. Oh, there it is. But I might have turned it up too loud. Kavai sent something in my Discord, says, I think it's time to put this to public, but first, what's your thoughts? YouTube link. Okay, cool. Let me check this out. Red Bull ways to skate with dogs. Okay, let's check this. So Kavai sent this over. Okay, you guys should be able to hear this now. Let's see. Jesus. Damn. Is this like all the places to skate? I see, yeah, places to skate. I would like to see someone skate on a hippo. Jesus. Kavai, I don't even, well, you said, oh, now that's the original video. Think you clicked the wrong link. Oh, what? I think you only sent one link. It says Red Bull ways to skate with the... Oh, okay, huh? Hold on. Yeah, Kavai, I think this is the only... I don't think I'm missing anything. I clicked on the YouTube shorts, and this is what popped up. We could try to skate on a hippo? Listen, that's all you. That's the right one? Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's weird. Nice. This is you, right? Jesus. I wonder what that guy was thinking as they're approaching. Wait, is this your channel? I'll follow just in case. Well, thanks for sharing. I'm assuming that was you, and that is pretty badass. I've only gone snowboarding. I took snowboarding lessons in Dubai, of all places, because we have there's like the Ski Dubai inside the mall. So it's so hilarious. But we do have snow in Dubai year round, really. But I took snowboarding lessons. That was pretty good, actually. I did skiing one time in my life, and I was actually not bad with that either. If I can say so myself. I didn't die. So I would love to do some like legit snowboarding though. And I do want to do the sled dog stuff. Yo, imagine if we can do a live stream from a sled dog. Or is that how you say it? Sled dog? No. From a dog sled. Yeah, dog sled. Imagine setting up a sled with, you know, cameras and everything, and we freaking do a live stream from that. So these are all ambitions for next year, okay? These are all the things. As I pilot and test out the tech and do it, you know, the goal is like go anywhere, and just like anywhere that's remote and hopefully with some wildlife involved, we'll be capturing it. The Ski Dubai is a really cool ski resort. It's not a ski resort. It's actually, I can just show you guys. Ski Dubai. It's just like a slope that they built indoors. So it's like yeah. Here, I'm sure I can find Ski Dubai. So they just have a bunch of indoor slopes that they've built. I didn't do this because I only did my training session. It's actually pretty big. Holy shit, I didn't know it was this big. Wow. No kidding. Look, they even have a ski lift there. You know what? I'm actually impressed. I didn't know that there was that much of a slope there. Because it's all inside of the mall. So you just kind of assume it can't be like that crazy. But that was actually pretty good. Because when I was there, I was cordoned off on a little baby section where they teach you how to do all the, you know, the basics. Kavai says, we have snow in Oslo, Norway with the same concept. Dubai's is bigger. Yeah, I mean, Dubai is just more bizarre because it's in the desert. Oh yeah, we have penguins as well.
Ski resort located in the Mall of the Emirates, offering year-round skiing, snowboarding, and other snow activities in the middle of the desert. It features 5 ski slopes of varying difficulty levels, including the world's first indoor black diamond run, along with a snow park for family-friendly fun. Ski Dubai is home to a colony of Gentoo and king penguins, allowing visitors to enjoy penguin encounters and even take part in penguin experiences. The resort provides all the necessary equipment and clothing, ensuring a comfortable and enjoyable snow experience for both beginners.
Oh, you know another thing I did in Dubai recently? I had a friend visiting. I did is it the Deep Dive Dubai? This was also pretty fun. Henry says, do you use it for sharpen your videos always, all the time? I thought just with your cameras you were able to have a good quality. Henry was asking, what do I use? Do you use it for sharpen? Oh, are you talking about dehancer maybe? Sorry, I got a bit distracted, but when it comes to the video editing stuff, I don't usually sharpen my videos too much. I do have a node at the very end, which applies just a bit of sharpen, but it's honestly like the tiniest amount. Yeah, I just drop it to 0.48 as opposed to the neutral 0.5. But I don't use dehancer for sharpening, really, if that's what your question was. I apologize if I missed something. But yeah. We're going to get back to this in a second. I just now am on a... So this is something I did. It's the world's deepest swimming pool. So how crazy is this?
Weird about it. It does just drop off to 200 feet, 14 million liters of water. Oh boy, it is deep.
Deepest pool in the world. The new sunken place.
Oh yeah, Will Smith did it.
Who wants to take the plunge at deep dive? That's a new world record.
Hi, my name's George, and by 60
So yeah,
deep.
I did this one time with a friend of mine who's like super into underwater, like scuba diving and photography stuff. So it was actually pretty fun. Although I don't know, I need a lot more practice before I feel comfortable doing this. But it's so inconspicuous. Is that the right word? Conspicuous or inconspicuous? It's very inconspicuous, I think. Because like from the surface, it just looks like a normal pool. It's like, oh, okay, it's not even that big of a pool. It's just whatever. But once you go in, you're like, holy shite. It just drops. Right? So then this thing like drops all the way down, and depends on your skill level, you can go pretty far deep. Yeah, so here, do they show like as you dive in?
I'm literally in the same water as Will Smith.
You're in the same water as Will Smith. Wow.
Yeah, so you just drop and drop and drop. It's crazy. So anyways, deep dive, Dubai. Dubai's a crazy place. That goes without saying. All right, let's get back into this. So yeah, the sharpening, I don't do too much sharpening in general. And it seems like most people, or if you want the cinematic look, I've been told, oh, you know what, I think Fed sent something in the chat before on Discord. I need to watch that video actually. But there's a video that he had sent about like how to soften your footage properly with like the mid details and stuff. So we'll check it out in a second. Let me just kind of go through all the versions of my voice here.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Okay, that's not bad. And it looks like it's about the same. Oh, actually a bit faster, so that could be a better option, technically. Let's change the mono.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
I mean, to be honest, it's like, I think all of these should be fine.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
The main thing is I just need to make sure it fits the 13 seconds that I have designated for this.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade.
Okay, I don't think I like that one as much.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
That's not bad, I think. I'm such a bad judge for my voice.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Okay, I don't think I like that one. Okay, so I think we can safely drop a few of these. Let's delete some of that. All right, let's go through one at a time. Let me pause the music now. Fed says, yeah, how to soften edges while retaining image detail. Basically, you don't want sharpness in video, you want detail. Thank you for that. Yeah, I saw your video. I haven't opened it yet, admittedly, but I did want to go through it on stream. So maybe it might make sense to go through it now. But let me first get this whole voice thing. Let's figure out the right section to use. Let me pause the music. Okay, here we go. So we got one version that we've listened to already. Let's try it again. Let's listen to it. I've been chasing So we'll leave this be. However, let's go ahead and turn on the other stuff. Generally speaking, I do have these little, I have one called my voice compression, so I don't remember when I created this, but hopefully it helps. I've been chasing a look, Jesus. So what it did is it increased the volume, which is not a bad thing, but I just need to drop this if I want to keep that. Hold on. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that... I don't think it's necessary. Let me go back to normal. So the voice compression, I don't think I need. I need more of a dehancer. My voice, DJI Mic 2 with lav, DJI plus lav. Jesus, I need to be better about this. My voice removing some bass. Let's see. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. It sounds a little, there's like a weirdness to it, I think. I don't know how to explain it. Let's try another one. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and... This one gets rid of the S sound, but it's making my voice sound muddy. Would that be the right term? Basically, I need to get rid of the S. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and... Okay, what about just normal one? Dialogue male. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer. That's not bad. I've been chasing a look. There's like a bit of that noise you can hear. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer. Okay, I think we got it. That's not bad, right? So if we have our audio, now we can work on the clips themselves. So ideally I wanted to use, so I have a few that I recorded. So in the wide angle, you can see when I was editing the gorilla. By the way, I had to film this. I had my phone in front of me, which had a little remote control, so I can control my camera. It's not the most robust remote, but basically I can at least hit the record button and then change focus. So yeah, I was looking at my phone here as I was like hitting the button to record. So I have a version here, which I can use with the gorilla. But like I said, the one issue is you can see the fog machine that I was using, or the smoke, kind of drift through, which could be a bit annoying. I don't know. Fed says, if you just want to remove the hiss in the S, I would do it manually by identifying the frequency and cutting it by a couple decibels. Yeah, that's a good point. I did see where it was. Yeah, it's like where this number 5 band is. It's like somewhere there, right? So I guess in a world I don't need to do all the other edits. You know what? You bring up a good point. Let's see. So if I undo that, or whoops. At the very least, we know we can always go back to this option. So how do I reset? Damn it. Is there a reset button? Do I just have to hit undo? That's annoying. Okay. I think I undid it.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
So it should be somewhere near this 5. How do I do this then? No. So I have to change 5 to what? Oops. How do I do this? Do I change this to a dip? There we go.
A look that lets my travel stories breathe. That lets my travel stories breathe.
There's an easier way to do this and I'm not doing
I've been
it.
chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That
Ooh, I
turns
think I got-
pixels into feeling. Turns pixels into feeling. Turns pixels into feeling.
Is there a way to expand this? Are these really the only options they give you? There must be. There must be. I just don't know how to do it. No. Oh yeah, okay.
Turns pixels and that turns pixels into feeling. That turns pixels.
Dude, I'm so bad at this. Fed says, I always remove all such annoying frequencies as the first thing I do to the audio manually. Got a lot easier to do in Resolve after they finally added more edit points with the equalizer. Well, apparently it's not easy enough for me. What the hell? Come on. I do the opposite. I up it to full to find the bad frequency, then reverse it. Okay. As in you just increase the volume quite a bit. Oops.
Into feeling and footage into film. That turns pixels into feeling.
Oh, maybe this one. Okay, here we go.
And footage turns pixels and that turns pixels into feeling.
Ooh, I got it. It's somewhere around here. Okay, hold on.
That turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Okay, and then I guess maybe I can start lifting it a bit. It might be too quiet.
That turns pixels into feeling and breathe. That turns pixels into feeling and footage into film.
Okay, I think that's acceptable
I've
amount.
been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Okay. You'll hear the hiss loudly. Gotcha. I think we've gotten an acceptable thing here. Thank you very much, Fed. I'm learning a bit each time. Okay. So now, let's choose the right clip moment. So I have basically two, I guess, to choose from. I've got this gorilla here. And then I have the train here. Now the gorilla obviously is a bit more hype because it's a freaking gorilla, right? So I could show that. I wish I had someone to help me out here because the focus pull was a bit too harsh. Because the remote didn't let me do like a soft focus.
I've been chasing a look.
Alright, let's try this. Fed says no, not increase the volume. You make the spike loud and look for the frequency. Ah, okay. So you just lift it instead of what I did of dropping it. Clever, man. Very clever. Unfortunately, you can't teach clever. I gotta.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels.
Okay, so right when I say that turns pixels, that sounds like a good point for me to switch to the medium shot.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
I think I'll start with the end, actually.
Dehancer.
I think this will work. Okay, so right here.
Let me show you the world of dehancer. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Okay, I think I found the ending. Sometimes it's easier to work with the end, and then I know what to work around. So we got the beginning, the end. So now we just gotta find the middle point.
Travel stories breathe.
Let me see. Let's look at the middle shot real quick. Oh, nice. Oh, I totally forgot. I do have 3 moments. Wait, do I? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hold on. No, I don't. I have 2 shots, but I did zoom in on one of them. So basically I have wide angle. So we have this wide angle view, and then we have this over the shoulder shot. But you can still see, obviously, the clip is very tiny. But then I zoom in fully here. So I can show this as clip number 3. So it's even though I haven't punched in to the shot, like it's not like I went wide angle, zooming in. I go wide angle, zoom in, and then my monitor zooms in. So it kind of mimics a bit of the punching in concept. And unfortunately, I recorded the horse, but I didn't realize I didn't record it on the other clip. So the horse could have been a nice other option. Okay, so we have some options here to play with. Let me think about this. Fed says, I do that with every audio recording and find all bad frequencies as a first step with audio and remove them. Okay. Yeah, I need to take notes on these things because I'm just not that good. I struggle a lot. Mentally, I get fatigued every time it comes to like doing all the audio level, like the audio mixing stuff. It kills me. So my thought process right now, Fed says this is hard to do in DaVinci up until recently because you could only make, I think it was 4 spikes before. You usually need quite a few, and you also want some for removing some low end. Okay. Well, I'll reach out to you constantly when I have these questions here, because, yeah, it's just a nightmare for me. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to visually show when you see that toggle effect. Yeah, probably that last one. So maybe something like right here. Okay, so this is a potential clip we can use beforehand. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my own thoughts here. Okay, so technically I have this whole section, which is the full screen view from a wide angle. And I guess my question is, do I have the moments before that? I do, okay. So this is where I was mentioning you can see the smoke machine. So let's see. From here, do you see it? Okay, here it's okay. So what if... this could be a potential starting point.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Yeah, it's a bit too abrupt, so there's a few things I need to fix, I think.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and breathe, that turns pixels into feel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and turns pixels into feeling and footage and that turns pixels into feeling and I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and
Okay, something in this area. Let me pause the music. We're gonna test this out now.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film.
I think the punch-in is maybe a bit too much to have two at once, right? Duh, 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 duh.
I've been chasing a look that lets my
Maybe I cut in earlier, so like from here.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage.
bad. It's not bad. Option number 2 is I just show a different clip from a wide angle as I'm editing something completely different, right? So we can do 2 potentials here, I think. Let's see. Look at me like an idiot staring at my phone. What else do we have? Yeah, so I could show any number of my other clips that I recorded. Really, I only have 2 other shots that I filmed. Let's think about that. So it could just be, Jesus, I'm super messy here. Let's just drag this away. So it could be any of these moments, really. Here, let's just cut. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels. Okay, how about that? So what if this whole beginning, I'll use a completely different clip. And I'm leaning towards the train shot because there's at least 2 kind of key moments. You've got the train passing and you've got her flicking her hair, right? So there's like, and I can speed it up to capture both moments. So even though it's one clip, there's kind of 2 key moments to the clip to kind of allow it to stay on screen for a bit longer. So let's see. Let's drag this away. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns Okay, actually, we're almost there. I either need to speed it up or maybe I just can cut it from a little bit sooner. Let's see. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. And ideally, when I say the words travel stories breathe, I'd like the hair flick to happen just at that moment. So I might need to do a bit of like a custom speed ramping. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. So this part here, hold on. I've been chasing a look that lets my So from roughly here, let me see if I'm also really shit at doing these freaking speed ramps in DaVinci. So more practice makes perfect, they say. Let me put the music back on because it'll take some time here. So what do I need to do? I need to add a keyframe to this guy. And there is another section to see your speed effects. Where is it? Oh yeah, keyframes. So I know DaVinci made some changes where you can adjust all the speed stuff here now, but I actually found it made it worse for me in terms of learning the tool, which is very frustrating because obviously it's like, what the hell? I'm taking a few steps back. I probably should just watch a YouTube video that will kind of show me the ropes on this, but that's so much work. Here, let me reshuffle my music. So I'm using this app called Cider, which is connected to my Apple Music. And it's working pretty well, because obviously now you can see the music widget pop up. But occasionally it seems to like jitter, or like it pauses for a moment, or cuts out, and I have to... So those of you on the Twitch side, you're listening to music that I have personally curated from musicbed, which is the service that I use for all my soundtracks and sound effects library. So I recently partnered with them. I love this music. So I have 2 kind of use cases for musicbed right now. One is for the stream playlist. So when I'm live, what kind of music do I want to listen to while I'm working? And then 2 is obviously for this kind of cinematic storytelling, the YouTube videos that I work on. So I need to add a keyframe here. What do I do? Do I just click here? Up until here, maybe? Okay, so I hit 2 keyframes. So what does that mean? Does that mean from here?
that lets my travel stories breathe.
No, hold on. So if I add a keyframe right in the middle of this and increase the speed, would it create like a little bit of a speed ramp?
Breathe. That's my travel stories breathe. That turns my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. Let's
Why is this so difficult? I'm trying to just... If I hit ripple timeline, would that help? No, I don't want that. Smooth.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
I'm just bumbling around here. Jesus. Alright, let me just undo all that.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. I've been chasing a look that
Basically, I want one keyframe here. And so from this point, I want to speed it up until, let's say, like here. So how do I make a freaking speed ramp in this? Oh, here we go. Okay, and then if I smooth it out, can I choose ease in and ease out? Okay, okay.
chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Why did that do nothing though? Okay. Now we gotta lift this guy up. Come on, heart of the cards.
I've been
Work.
chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Almost, not really. So I've already lifted it to 115, so I gotta do more. Jesus.
Look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Almost there.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns
Okay, we're almost there actually. Hold on. So now we're at 120% speed. If I lift it just a bit more, do I get there? Let's see.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns
Kind of. I still feel like a little bit more. Give me more.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe. That turns
It's not like, okay, this is where I'm getting very nitpicky, or I get super how do you say? Maybe OCD? I don't know. But the timing is not just right.
chasing
Hold
a
on.
look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Basically, I want her to do the hair flick in time with me saying the line. Hold on.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Almost there. Almost there.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pics.
I think we got it.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool in my grade. Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Okay, I think this is acceptable now. This whole shot is still a little bit long, possibly, but maybe it's not the worst thing. Because with a bit of creative zoom effect, maybe, because obviously we want to punch in on me talking about dehancer. This could be good. And I filmed this in 8K. So because I filmed all of this, and I think all of these are 8K quality, I should be able to punch in quite a bit. If I know the math, which I don't. I'm assuming I can punch in 2x without losing resolution if I'm publishing at 4K. Is that how it works? Let me ask ChatGPT. Okay, Amber, I've got some 8K quality clips, and I want to publish a 4K quality video for YouTube.
Hey there. At it. So if you're working with 8K clips and you want to publish in 4K, that actually gives you a lot of flexibility.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Hold on. There's a bit of a delay, so I think we were interrupting each other. So I didn't finish. What I was saying is I have 8K clips and I have a 4K timeline. How much can I crop in on the clip without worrying about loss of resolution? So is it like around 2x zoom that I can do? Or tell me, what's the math?
Absolutely, that makes sense. So with 8K footage on a 4K timeline, you basically have about 4 times the resolution to work with. In practical terms, that means you can zoom in or crop in up to around 2x without losing any quality and still maintain that crisp 4K resolution. So you got it right. You can pretty much do a 2x zoom without any worries about losing that quality.
Can I get a hells yeah? That's great. So thankfully I had the foresight, to to film this in 8K. I forget the reason why, but it was like, hey, why not? So that way I can zoom in quite a bit, especially for this part here. So I'm thinking if I do a bit of creative zoom, so it almost like punches in on me typing dehancer, and then it could even like follow, if I can just, I don't know how much I can crop in, but imagine if I crop in on that and it just like motion tracks until the drop there. And then when it clicks in, then we go into the trailer. That's my thought process.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels.
All right, let's we'll pause the music. All right, here we go.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
Oh, but the problem is because I'm using 8K quality footage, there's a bit of a lag. So I can't show the full resolution, unfortunately. Let's try half. One of those quick beats. I don't have a good idea yet how I'm gonna work with this. Ikidis is here. Ikidis says good evening. Guten Abend, Ikidis. And if you don't know what that means good evening in German. Yeah, I know. I know German. Don't ask me to say any other words in German because that's all I got. But thanks for being here. Ikidis, I've done a few things. Yes, I've done a few things today. Are you proud of me? Actually, this is a good time for me to take a pause because I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with what I have to do next. What did we do? 2 things. I did my first co-working stream today. Oh, nice emotes popping through. I love it. Thank you. So proud. You're proud, and I haven't even explained what I did. I love it. Yeah, I did my first co-working stream. So I did all the proper setups, right? We had our cameras. I had my little task list. So everything was up and running. I did it only for Twitch. So I think tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. I've created a second channel on YouTube, which I have to create stuff for. It's called Lo-Fi Cat Naps, okay? Hold on, let me spell it out. Lo-Fi Cat Naps. So Lo-Fi Cat Naps will then be the YouTube. So I will stream on that channel going forward for when I do the co-working streams, because it doesn't really fit with my brand, my Yobel Prize brand, because then I think it will end up diluting the algorithm in a bad way. But I figure I can do it this way. And yeah, we can pump out that. You remember the conversation we had about doing like a lo-fi channel? So I can do 2 things, right? I can record these things with like chill music, and I could do streams from it. So it'll be like a YouTube stream, also on Twitch, doing these kind of co-working concepts. And you asked how did it go? It went really well. I was beyond productive, like to the point where I was like, yo, I could do this for hours. And so most likely what this means is going forward, I will be streaming back to like normal hours. I say normal. I can stream in the first 46 days of my streaming. I think I was averaging about 7 to 8 hours per stream. And that was like fun for me. And I stopped doing that because I needed to be more productive off stream, on like off stream work, which is very boring to show on stream. But now if I do a co-working where I don't really even need to show what I'm doing on my screen, it's just literally, you just hang out with my cat, we see our little task list, some lo-fi chill music, and I can do my shit on my computer, right? So now I figure I can do this almost on a daily basis, doing co-working and then switch off into these normal streams that I do as well. So anyways, I was proud of myself because as part of that, I also figured out how to split my audio tracks, thanks to a bunch of people in the chat as well for helping me. But now I can play, finally, my musicbed music. So Ikidis, you're on the Twitch side, so you should be hearing my fried rice playlist. This is a playlist I put together from Musicbed, which is one of my partners. So I really like the music that I was finding there. And because they use like actual artists, like, you know, Spotify artists and stuff like that, as opposed to like your typical stock sound libraries where it doesn't feel like it's at the same standard of quality as like a Spotify musician would be. So now I can play a bunch of these songs and promote them and do my chill stuff as well. Whereas the YouTube will hear a completely different set of music, which is copyright friendly for YouTube's thing. So I was proud of that. I figured out some tech stuff, yeah. Anyways, those are the main reason I was proud of myself. Besides that, oh yeah, we're on day 99 of streaming. So tomorrow's going to be day 100. How crazy. The only thing that's going to change about tomorrow's stream is that I'll let my hair down. I'll be like Rapunzel. Am I getting the right reference? I'm going to let my hair down so y'all will see how long my freaking hair is. Because I believe it goes up to like here. Yeah, I think it goes like here. It's a bit much. So we'll finally release the hair, and that'll be a nice little, yeah, it'll help me out. And then we're gonna chop off all the hair eventually. So there you go. That's my quick little catch up. What I've been doing on today's entertaining stream is I'm working on my next video, dehancer video. So I am working with an editor on this. However, I've had a bit of a struggle session. I won't go into the details, but basically it's taken a bit longer, and I decided I'm just going to work on this section of my video myself. So, and it's like the most exciting part because it's like the opening trailer. So, yeah, this is what I've been working on the past maybe hour or so. Let's go ahead and play it. Let's pause the music. I need to create a button to pause music or mute music so I don't have to keep clicking on him. Doesn't matter. Here we go. So this will be the opening. It's not done yet because I need to add a bit of manual zoom effects and like punch-ins and stuff like that. But at least in terms of clip placement, I think we got the beginning section. Here we go.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feelings into film. And I think I found a way with one tool.
My bad. I think I moved the mouse and it killed everything. How do I go back? There we go. Let's do it again.
I've been chasing a look that lets my
Let's call it 35 or so clips of, I think I have about, I don't know, think I have like 50 clips or so to pull from. So I'll use at least half of them, essentially. And then, yeah, like we said, the difficult part is it's not just the culling of the footage, it's the organizing of the footage. So now I have to figure out, like, how many times does it make sense with the soundtrack to see, like, a shift in the themes. So if I have the first few footage is, let's say, all wildlife themed, then I switch over to people, cultural shots, maybe like close-ups. Then it can switch over to, I don't know, like the mix animal and human shots, mostly from Mongolia. Then it can turn into like a free-for-all towards the end, where it just kind of hops between as many of these as possible. I have to also decide, there's a few clips that are a bit longer than others. So for those longer clips, which ones are the most suitable for that, where I can show off the slow motion or whatever action is happening, versus which ones will be chosen for like the quick transitional shots. I don't know. So there's a lot that goes into it, which it's daunting, but it's also exciting. I love this kind of stuff. Lucas Corner says, today is my birthday, bro. Yo, happy birthday on the day after Thanksgiving. So happy birthday on Black Friday. Is that how it works? I think. Hopefully, well, thank you for celebrating your birthday with me. That's kind of nice. I wish I could be more entertaining for you on your birthday, but I'll do my best, you know? Let me put the music back on. I don't have a happy birthday song for you, though. Let's turn the music back on. How long have we been streaming? Let me see. Oh, it's here. Oops. So we've been streaming 3 hours on this, and then I was mentioning, I think I streamed about 2 hours. Was it about 2 hours? No. 25 minute, 30. I think we streamed about 3 hours previous. So yeah, we're getting back into like a zone of streaming about 6 to 7 hours per day. But like I said, it's a mix of doing the co-working streams and then more of this kind of casual, what do you call this? Just chatting streams. Lucas says, thanks. 17. I was going to ask how old are you turning? And I was going to use the 4 numbers at the end of your username to kind of guess, you know, like how people say 1990 something. Unfortunately, your year says 1740, so, yeah. But whatever age you turned, I hope it's a good age. Hopefully you've got a lot of exciting things in your life you look forward to. You should. Every year we survive, that we kick death's ass, if you will. That's enough to celebrate, right? But thanks for tuning in, by the way, Lucas. I don't know if I've seen your name in the chat before. I'm a small streamer, so I tend to notice if there's new names. So happy to. Oh, thank you for doing the math. Oh my God, I kid us. I don't even know if you got the math right. I'm just gonna trust it because I was like, yo, we're not in school anymore. Happy 285th birthday. Yes, Lucas, enjoy. If you have the physical body to be able to blow out the candles at that point, yeah.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
So then what is the first shot that I want? I'm kind of leaning towards, I do want one of the more impressive shots, because we have to obviously still captivate and we have to capture the attention of any random person watching. So I'm leaning towards the chimp, you know, this chimp shot, because it is very epic, right? So let's say, let me drop some of these down. Get down. Come on. Come on, buddy. There you go. Come on. Yeah, I think this shot, look, it's one of the best shots I've taken anyways, so might as well start with it. So my thought process, I'm leaning towards, we start off editing this train shot, so it probably makes sense to show this as well, the train shot.
Look that lets my travel stories breathe.
But then I also spend more time on this gorilla.
Into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way.
So I think the very final clip that we'll use can be a slow motion shot of the gorilla. So let's find the gorilla shot. And let's find the ending. Should be right around here, right? Let's see. Let me pause my music. Probably won't play that long, but in that moment, in this moment somewhere, is where we'll play this clip, and then the title will appear saying dehancer review, blah blah blah. Actually, I can use the same thing I created for my last the dehancer video. Oh, sorry, the ZR video. Let me get to that. Not the Chimp Island. Where is it? Maybe it's in here. Your camera skills are awesome, bro, says Lucas. Yo, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's yeah, I appreciate it. Sorry. I was at a loss for words. But yeah, it's something, you know, it didn't happen at once, so I've been doing photography first. So I did photography for I think I'm on year number 8 or 9 since I started the photography journey. And I started off doing like travel photography. My passion was really around traveling, and then the camera just allowed me to capture the cool moments that I saw around the world and then share it with everyone. So if there's one montage or tagline that I like to say on my channel, it's that I love to share the best of the world with the rest of the world through my lens. And so that's kind of the gist of what I do, why I'm a content creator right now. So I started off doing photography, let's call it 8-9 years back. And then I moved to Dubai from the States. And part of the reason was so that I can continue traveling. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And about 3 years back is when I started shifting more towards video. So I started making, if you check out my Instagram, feel free to follow me there. I used to do a lot of like Instagram reels. And that was like really fun for me, trying to figure out how to take some compelling footage, finding the key moments of it, like the juiciest parts, and then how do you tie it up with the juiciest music, right? And how do you captivate an audience who only will give you 3 seconds of their time, because the competition's stiff and our attention spans are shrinking. And so it's a fun challenge, and I was all for a hobby anyway. So, but it ended up, you know, leveling up my skills on understanding like cinematic concepts, emotion. How do you draw emotion from just a few frames, a few seconds? And then I decided, once I got a bit more familiarized with that, I wanted to take more moments. As I got more familiar with video editing, then it was like, oh shoot, I'm capturing hours of footage when I travel. So only sharing 3 seconds or 5 seconds is such a, it's not a waste, but it kind of is. Like, there's so much that I've captured on my travels that I never get to share with the world. So that's when I decided, let me open up a YouTube channel. Let's dedicate all my time to traveling and sharing the content. So I've been out of corporate for, I guess 2 years now, and I've just been dedicating all my time and my money to making this work out. But yeah, so then I started doing YouTube for long form content. That's been also a great lesson in storytelling. Now it's like, I have to learn how to do long form content, and I have to learn how do I tell a compelling story across minutes as opposed to seconds. And so then that's opened up a new chapter for me of filmmaking. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see a recent project I did was with Nikon with their new camera launch. And so I, you know, baby steps, but I did like a 5-minute short film documentary. And that's been doing wonders for me, confidence-wise, as well as like hopefully opportunity-wise. So yeah, that's kind of my journey. Sorry, I took a quick little pause there to explain who I am and all that. But yeah, thank you very much for your compliment. hopefully you enjoy the content I've been streaming. Oh yeah, streaming became like the next step after, or in between there, where I've been streaming now. This is my 99th day of streaming. So we started back in like August something. Tomorrow will be the 100th day of my live stream. How crazy. So yeah, all of this in the name of just like testing my own abilities to be a content creator, seeing where I find comfort in the type of content I want to create. What do I find is not my style? And thankfully, live streaming, it is my style. I enjoy it. I get to ramble, or as Ikeda says, I get to yap as much as I want without anyone telling me. I guess you could tell me to shut up, but you can't force me to, right? I guess I could put in some rules where it's like, if you donate $500, I will. But the point is, it's my space to talk about what I want, which is great. And apparently I enjoy it, and I can do it for a long time. And YouTube and all that fun stuff. Lucas says, you have awesome photo skills. Let me put on the music again. Sorry guys, I'm super, my allergies are kicking in right now. Lucas says, you have awesome photo skills. You have the best talent in editing, in video editing. You should start to make videos about traveling and shooting of wildlife. Thank you, Lucas. Yes, if I understood you correctly, part of what I've been dedicating my YouTube channel for is doing a bit of like vlogging, right? So just doing a bit of the typical travel vlogs of like, hey, here's my trip to X country and blah, 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 right? I'm saying blah a lot. So if you go to my channel right now, the most recent episode I made was for Mongolia, part 1. So that was like kind of explaining how I got to where I was in Mongolia and what was the context of that trip. So I hope you enjoy it. I did make the entire video from the first 20 something days of my live stream. So you would, if you had tuned in, or you can always check out the VOD, but I basically showed the entire behind the scenes of how do I make this video. And a lot of you guys chimed in, helped me out with the creation of the video. So it was really awesome. But yeah, so I do my best to share videos about my travels, and a lot of my travels are wildlife based. So it kind of is tackling both of the things you suggested, where it's like travels and showing captures of my wildlife. So now my goal is I'm trying to share more of those more consistently. I got thrown for a curveball recently because I had this project with Nikon, which has now, it kind of put a pause on a lot of that consistency, but I'm not complaining because obviously it was an awesome experience. But yeah, I am planning to be more consistent about publishing my travel vlogs, as well as doing like talking head videos and all that fun YouTube stuff. So, but thank you, Lucas. What you're suggesting is validating the direction that I was aiming to go with my YouTube. And then one of the next steps, the next chapter, will be doing IRL, in real life, wildlife safari streams. So that is currently in the works, and I'll be planning for next year to actually take you guys with me when I do all of my wildlife activities. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm in the works as we speak. I've been putting in the work to make sure I do this properly and understand all the tech requirements and the locations and the sponsorships and partners that I would need to do this consistently and not just like a one-off thing. So okay, anyways, my music stopped again on the Twitch side. Let's refresh it. And thank you, Lucas. What am I on? Oh yeah, I went to this one. Why did I go to this video? Ah, the product review. All right, I'm just gonna copy over this title sequence I made before. Okay, so I need to copy over. Let's copy over a few things here. We're just gonna take all of this. Cool. Now let's go back. Dehancer. Do 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 do. Okay. Let's drag these guys out of the way for now. Let's bring these ones down. And let me zoom in. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, almost. Okay, let's see how this looks.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe.
feel about that? I'm not sure if I liked what I did there because let me think. I'm trying to think of it logically, I guess. There's this motion where I'm tracking from right to left. We're seeing the subject, I guess, going from the right side of the screen, going to the left, and then also my camera motion is panning from the right to the left until it catches up and it shows it centered. But then from there, it jumps right away. By the time the animation ends, it jumps to the next shot where the subject is centered but moving towards the camera as opposed to continuing that motion. So like basically the viewer is going to be watching this camera as it tracks from right to left. So we're like kind of following something from right to left. And when the next shot abruptly appears, that right to left motion also stops. So then we're expecting to continue in a certain direction, but instead now it's stopped and going in an opposite direction, or it's going towards the camera. So I think it's a bit jarring, maybe. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly.
Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Yeah, so then this shot here, there is no side panning. There is no motion up and down, left and right. It's just a centered subject moving towards the camera. So I think for those reasons, this transition didn't make sense, or this kind of motion I added.
Let me show you the world of dehancer.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes I need to talk this out so I can eventually get to like does this make sense or not? So my instinct was telling me something was wrong. I think logically speaking, I'm also saying something's wrong. So let me reset that. And then here, it's a little bit uncomfortable as we shift from this clip to this one. Because we're like zooming in, and then it feels like we zoomed out and then zooming back in. So I need to match this a bit better. I guess I could just do that easily enough, right? Hold on. 1.08. So then if I start this clip at 1.08, it's alright with me. Did I do the math correct? Let's find out.
That turns pixels into feeling and footage into film.
Kind of. It was a bit better, but I still feel like there's a bit of a... So we did lock in... Okay, we did the math correct, but it was still slightly jarring and I need to figure it out. Well, I guess the jarring part is because the footage jumps in size. So maybe what I can try is I might just lean into the fact that it's gonna, maybe I just hop in here, hold on. So what if I just start a bit more punched in, like fully? And let me try without any zoom effect first. And let's see how it looks. Okay, I don't mind that at all. So then the next test is let's add in a bit of that zoom and see if we hate it. So we're gonna add the same math, 1.51, so we'll just shift it by 0.08.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think I found a way with one tool and my grade.
That's not bad either. Hold on.
I've been chasing a look that lets my travel stories breathe, that turns pixels into feeling and footage into film.
Okay, I think though. I think the zoom effect. Yeah, I guess I can't. I was gonna say I would want this to be a bit more centered, but I don't have a choice. But maybe this final part here, can I shift it?
Turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I think
No.
turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. Turns
There's
pixels
slightly-
into feeling and footage into film.
There's slightly something I don't like
Turns
about this.
pixels into feeling and footage into film. It turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. Turns pixels into feeling and footage into
Okay.
footage into film. It turns pixels into feeling and footage into film.
I can't really explain, but I think I need the zoom to be more aligned in terms of the centering. Oh no, I see what it is. Because here I'm zooming and it feels like the camera's slightly zooming at an upward angle. And then here I'm zooming at a downward angle. Okay, I figured it out. So what do I need to do? We'll start this one slightly down as well, like this, just in case. And then by the time it gets to the end, let's see.
Turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I turns pixels into feeling and footage into film. And I
Okay, so we still need a bit more upward motion.
and footage into film. And I think I found
Okay, I think I did it. Also, the beat's about to drop in this music on the Twitch side. Look at my cat. Look at that innocent face. What's hiding behind those diva eyes? She's plotting something, you know? She's plotting something mischievous. Whereas this cat, all he's plotting is how he can steal more food. Kimbap, you look a bit plump. You're like filling up that bed. Isn't that right, Nala? Isn't that right, Nala? Good girl. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I totally forgot. One of the things on my to-do list I didn't write it down is I needed a microphone for my cats. This is part of my overkill list, but yeah, if I can get a shotgun mic pointing at my cat cameras, right? Or like, you know, towards my cats here. Can you imagine? Such overkill, but we'd have like an ASMR. So let me say microphone for cats. What could I do with that? Could I get like a DJI mic? Like if I get my DJI mic and just position it towards, I mean, it's not the cleanest look. So imagine there'd be like a microphone right here pointing at my cat. I guess that could suffice, but it's not like directional enough. So I feel like I would need a shotgun. Oh, I do have some shotgun mics though. I could put a shotgun mic to my Z9 here. And then how does this work with OBS? Would it capture the audio of the camera as well as the video? I don't know. If it does, and then I can turn it on at time. Okay, and listen, point is, it's on my to-do list because I need to add it as like research. But it could be a... we want to go all in on the overkill of my stream quality, okay? So I've written it down. We'll figure this out next. Oh, shoot. It's already 10:30. Damn. Okay, so it's 10:30, which is usually when I should be like starting to end stream because I am trying to be a bit more mindful about going to sleep earlier. I have to hit the gym tomorrow. Yes, we got our gym session in. So here, let me test a few things out. Also, enjoy my cat just chilling here. Look how adorable she is. Look at that pretty face. Yes, Nala, I'm talking about you. Good girl. Yeah. Nala. Good girl. Kimbap. You too, buddy. Look at you, Tubby. Here, let me give him a quick pet. We'll do the crane. Yes, Nala. Okay, okay, we'll start with you. Damn, diva. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Let's put the music back on for this. All right, just using my cameras. I want to see if I can position my hand to do a little bit of a, what do you call it? What do you call that? The claw machine? Yeah, we're doing a claw machine. I'm going to try to grab Nala's head. I think based on the shadow, should be like here. All right, here we go. Dropping straight down in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, how am I so bad at this? Okay. Attempt number 2. Okay, so now I have to shift more this way. Lean forward. Right here. Okay, this is it. 3, 2, 1, drop. Okay. One more time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, drop. Yeah, gotcha. Good girl. All right, let's do second cat. If anything, this is like to train my, what do you call it? Hand-eye coordination? 'Cause apparently it's pretty bad. Oh, this one's gonna be tougher because I can't really see. My mic's in the way. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and drop. Okay. Let's go this way. 3, 2, 1, and drop. Okay, I disturbed him enough. Oh, before I forget, the other thing I needed to do before we end the stream, I need to change the property on the music tracks. So we got our VLC player cider music. What did I need to turn off? Oh, it's DaVinci. So when we are in editing mode, DaVinci, let me turn off track number 3. Oh wait, hold on. Let's play it for a second because I want to do one last. Let's do one last review of this before we end. Let's see what progress we've made, how we feel about this. Here we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Listen. I have to remind myself that, so tomorrow we'll work on some of the, I need to add some transition effects, so like the film burns, stuff like that, in between like flashes and stuff. Some nice, oh, did I say sound effects? Or I need some visual effects and sound effects. So those are some things we'll work on tomorrow. Let me turn off the track here. Okay, so I've turned it off on the Twitch and the YouTube side. So hopefully, I don't actually know if this is going to work, but my hope is that once I end this stream, everything you guys heard during the live stream of like the audio coming through of DaVinci as I was editing, I'm hoping it doesn't actually save to the VOD. So on the YouTube and Twitch VODs, it should essentially be muted if the logic holds, which I'm not sure about. If it doesn't hold and the audio remains, then I will get some like copyright claims, which is not the worst thing. I just need to deal with it, but we'll see. Anyways, this is all in the name of learning, so. Okay, I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys for an amazing stream, day 99. Tomorrow will be our 100th day of streaming, and I am going back, especially with the co-working. So now I'm going back to doing like, 6-7 hour streams. So today's stream is about 4 hours, and we did stream 3 hours before that. So yeah, awesome. I'm happy to be able to do that in a productive way. Thank you guys for awesome stream. And let me, again, this is going to be awkward because I'm using some service on OBS called ATUM, A-I-TUM. And occasionally it seems like when I try to end the stream, it doesn't actually work. So I'm going to hit a bunch of buttons here. And so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I'm going to click the button. And after I say goodbye, if the stream continues, just enjoy the awkward silence. It's intentional is what I'll say. Okay, thank you guys. Goodbye. hitting button number 1. Let's see if it turned off Twitch. And let me hit button number